Hi guys to everyone, it's Ada from Poison Rock, and we started this in November because it's the first November with all the guests of Poison Rock. It's since I think it was 2021, 2020 something, I remember. Faber from Sowulo. How are you, first of all? Welcome back.
Thank you so much for inviting me again.
It's a
Thank you.
pleasure. It's a pleasure because like I said, you were like one of the first musicians that are introduced from the dark folk scene,
Mm.
and it was new for me, so I didn't know nothing about it. And you kind of opened me that I still remember Soul, the song "Listening into the Woods," still today.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
That
amazing.
still, yeah, I remember that a lot. But the last album that we talked was a Man,
Oh,
and
yeah.
since then there has been a new release, Urtitz.
Yes.
Of course,
You
before.
pronounce it well. Perfect.
See, before talking about it, I want to ask you something more. I think it's important is your own, Faber, your own personal musical background, and especially the spiritual one, because you connect both in the music. And I didn't have the chance to ask you that at the beginning. So how?
Mhm.
Because what we hear in Sowulo is there's a spirituality, there's anthropology, there's nature, there is a little bit of everything. So I
Yeah.
think this part comes from your personal background.
Indeed. Yeah. Like from my teenage years, I was already interested in paganism and witchcraft and stuff like that, and druidry, and
Oh,
so and that never changed. I'm
yeah.
still really into all those philosophical and spiritual practices, and I
Yeah.
love to read about it, and I also love to do courses
Okay.
because we live in a beautiful world.
Yeah.
You can actually do amazing shamanistic courses, for example. Um, so yeah, I'm still really into that all. Yeah.
Yeah. And you mentioned courses, so meaning that you are teaching to the people about this course. So you give course yourself.
No, no, not really. No, I don't
Okay.
give courses. Only like in my inner circle, I
Okay.
could
Okay.
challenge people to do
Oh, think
certain
based
stuff.
kind of. Okay.
But let's say I teach through my music.
Yeah. I mean, of course, your music has things that are kind of unique. Like I was going throughout Instagram, just getting into about the carnix. Carnix is
Oh
right.
yeah,
This
yeah, Karnak.
instrument that I was like, wait, I don't know if I asked in the first interview, but I don't think so. So I'm gonna because this and also an historical part, big historical part in your music. There is not only, like coming from I don't know some spiritual. There is a like I like to say, call it the grounding part of music. So what is
Yeah,
what we see, what we feel, and
yeah,
also the spiritual one. So like all the chakra lines.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
So I
Yeah, yeah.
want to ask about this instrument and how did you find out about Karnik's instrument and which role play in your music?
Hmm. Like I came across the Carnex, I think 15 years ago,
Okay,
because I'm also really into Viking reenactment,
okay,
and also a bit like um, Celtic
okay.
and Bronze Age reenactment, and so I came across a Carnex, and I just felt in love with it. I didn't even hear it or see it in real time. I just saw it on photos and pictures, and that was enough for me. I thought one day I will have that instrument.
Instrument, you knew that.
And so I think 15 years or 10 years ago, I started searching if there was a builder, and there were just a few in the whole world, but they only made it for musea, and it was just priceless. It was way too expensive.
Yeah.
And then just a couple of years ago, I found this guy, Samuel Marik, and he is making the Carnix for just everyone, and it's not that extreme expensive. So I was so amazed by this
Very unique.
young human being, this beautiful human being making carnixes.
Yeah,
So yeah, I bought it from him, and it was as I hoped for. It is just pure magic.
yeah,
So I started to playing on it because, of course, I wanted to implement it in my albums,
yeah.
but it's a very old instrument, so it has a life on its own. It doesn't agree on the rules that we have for modern day music, so
Okay.
it's not in
Yeah,
the same tuning. Um, so I had to adjust the Carnix
right.
uh, to be able to use it in my modern day music production.
Right. It
Yeah.
was, I guess it wasn't supposed to be easy to, because of course, having as well like an instrument that, like you said, it has like a, say, an old soul, let's call it like that,
Oh yeah.
putting in a contemporary but still keeping the old sound and the old soul is not easy, because you can lost maybe, the old magic of the soul, but for being able to keep it, you must have done like a really really tough job,
Oh
process.
yeah. It was pretty crazy. I think I'm the only one, and I'm not gonna give some secrets away that I went through, but basically I calculated what I needed to change. I need to make the
Okay,
Carnix even a bit longer to be
okay,
able to get it into the modern tuning.
yeah,
And then still, of course, it's an ancient instrument, so you don't have keyholes. You
yeah,
cannot adjust the tones
yeah,
uh, uh, like modern day instruments. So
yeah,
you can only use your mouth, right? So it has a skill that is just a natural skill. So it's weird and it's off pitch. But yeah, that's why I also like love to use the Carnix within the context of my music as a
yeah,
studio project or live project with the other musicians and instruments. But in my live show, I also have this solo moment that
right. Connection.
that backstage they're changing mouthpieces of the Carnix really fast,
Okay,
and then I come back on stage, and then I have the Carnix uh, horizontal, no vertical,
vertical.
uh, and then it's like really really high, and then it's not in a normal scale.
Okay,
It's not in 440 hertz at all. It
okay.
is just doing the old Garnick's magic, and
Magic.
that really strikes the people. It always also strikes me because you cannot play a tune
No.
on it like a guitar or a piano or violin. The instrument has a
Unique.
life on itself, so it's
Yeah.
giving what
That
he wants to say.
Yeah, and
To,
that's why I think people, I mean, at your show, maybe are waiting, at Sowulo's show, are waiting for the moment of just solo, see, because it's beautiful seeing all, because all of what we know about, like people imaging, always about the Vikings, that's the concept, but let's say general in the folk music, more spread today. They have
yeah.
this concept that already, for example, Tagalarpa, I don't know, Mora harpa, these instruments, especially Tagalarpa, were Okravik lyre, they were played by Vikings, but no, these are more medieval, we know that. So,
Exactly, exactly.
for example, as an instrument like Carnic, which has I think more, I think it's older than, for
Oh
example,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
gives,
It's a
yeah.
couple of thousand years older.
Oh my God,
No,
yes.
no, it's like basically let's say 500 up to 1,000 years older
Yeah.
than Viking age.
So it gives a kind of more sense of a real historical background, which is important, because, of course, if you, and especially, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, this accuracy that you have about having this type of instrument, having a real, like, it was from that age, it came as well from the reenactment passion. So there is an historic passion behind
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. Yeah,
Otherwise, you wouldn't do it, not reenactment of a character. So
exactly, exactly.
And history has played as well an influence as an influence in your music because of course as history of course we can mention from Babylonian, Assyrian, from everything. It's not only like Viking. Let's say we're Viking aside for a moment, but in general, like all history has been played
Yeah.
as an influence
Yeah,
in
because like woordis, for
yeah.
example, woordis is a word in Indo-European. Or no, no, not even. It's Proto-Germanic. So it's way, way old. So basically, I of like it's really out in the open. I really like Viking Age period,
Okay,
but
sure.
I also really like
Yeah, cultures.
older stuff. So I like to play with that
Yeah.
because I don't want to be a Viking reenactment
No, you're
music
not.
group.
Sowulo
I'm
has
just
never been.
exactly. I'm just
Yeah.
toying around with
Yeah.
the things that I love, and so yeah, it's much more broader than only
Yeah.
Viking Age, indeed.
If I am right as well, what throughout I mean all your albums and music, and especially from the before Wordits, there always been not like you were yeah, of course you can listen the Northern sound, this Viking Age, it's an era, the Northern
Yeah.
era, let's say of the early 700 after Christ, yes, the beginning of the Viking era that we know, but of course there always been the roughest, even so that prior, like you were speaking about like even the beginning of the humanity of the man walking on the earth,
Yeah, yeah.
it's like at the beginning, like for example I was mentioning Soul, it's one of those songs that reminds me literally that out the man that it's starting to getting a connection with the ground, with the earth,
Mm.
you can feel the element, exactly, you can feel like the first connection with the element. So I think Soul as a band, as a project, no, let's call it band, it looks like a boy band. As a project is a kind of an anthropology
Hmm.
project, because they give you
Yeah.
different aspect of music, and that's why I think no one ever said, oh, Soul, it's a Viking band. Never heard that.
Uh-huh.
You never been labeled as that. There
Yeah.
is the interest, of course, I mean, one of the influences. And
Yeah. A big one.
yeah, of course, it's
Yeah.
important. It always can.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
always the
Yeah.
core, and then you have the small derivation. It's
Yeah.
normal,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
of course, I know there was the big historical influences behind. There is as well the spiritual one. I think that plays big.
Hmm.
That is more like the shamanic side, because of
Yeah.
course, like it
Absolutely.
could be, I don't know, spirituality could be like I don't know, magic. There are different types of spirituality, and how shamanism play a role in the music, because it's always like you say, connecting with an element, with the inner self, animal guide, yeah, animal guide, god animals, spirit animals.
Yeah. Well, it's a difficult question because it's all over the place.
Yeah.
So to start with, like Sowulo is of course the rune of the sun,
Yeah.
and also in the word Sowulo, it's the Proto-Germanic word, um, and not the Viking word for the
Yeah.
rune. So Sowulo is the rune for the sun.
Okay.
And basically, if you go back, really, really back into spirituality and shamanism, the sun has a very important role.
So, okay.
So basically, that was my starting point. Like I was completely in awe of the year wheel and like the
Okay.
sun. It gives us the cyclical nature
Yeah.
of our existence on Earth.
Exactly.
So for me, that is the core or the center of our existence,
Yeah.
like day and night, and
Yeah. Exactly.
right,
Right.
and birth and death,
Yeah.
and so basically you can't be more shamanistic than that,
No, because you're connecting
because
with
it's
human spirit.
already,
Yeah.
everything is already in there. Um, And then I just started making music,
Yeah.
and the first album and the first two albums were dedicated to the sun as this cyclical thing and giving the
Yeah.
pagan year feasts, basically from a necessity for myself,
Okay.
uh, because I was doing these year feasts, but there was not like music
Okay.
for every year feast that I could
Yeah.
put on and feel more connected to the year feast. Of course, back in the day, you had some pagan folk
Yeah.
music, but it was not exactly what I wanted. And then in 2008, I put on Vardruna, the first album, Gapvar Genunga, on these pagan year feasts, and that was good. But then I just had basically one good CD, and then the idea arose like I have to make music that I need myself,
Exactly.
not that I would put my music later on,
No.
put my own music on these pagan year feasts, but I just felt the necessity. I
Oh.
need something. It's not in the world yet, so I have to create
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Like I said, it's something that there are. I think each band could be each music project, each spirituality of the band, each core could be just really felt, and like they have like their own identity. They say something like I know everyone like if you can perceive anyone, different music. I don't know. We have found with the medieval. We have
yeah,
you mentioned Verdruna. We have Adonne Bala with another type of, we have
yeah,
Rafangriman a lot. We know all each other, and that's right. Runa
yeah.
Hill. Then there is so like I said, I told you, you took the core from the ground. Literally, you it's like you literally go to the ground. Like I was saying to the higher. It's like the cycle. You see, it's already there. I felt it even before you
Exactly,
saying that. Yeah, it's a
exactly.
cycle. Exactly. And of course, even if, for example, in the last one album that was released in 2022, Verdicts, it has the shamanism had an influence, or it has a different topic,
So Wordis is about faith,
fate.
uh, and you've got faith in basically two ways. It's faith, and that's, let's say, a bit more pleasant, and you've got doom, um,
Yeah,
and you've got free will. So the dance between those free will and fate, that is what Woordis is all about. And I was really working with the Norns, and I was really digging into that very much. And I wanted to basically, I wanted to n- get an understanding
yeah.
or get acquainted with faith.
Mm.
And so I started becoming friends with faith.
Okay.
And and um, and at the same time, I was doing research on the Norns from the Norse mythology. And basically, what I learned is that everyone is speaking about the three Norns.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
but it's basically two Norns,
Okay.
and the third one is is just named once or twice
Okay.
and really vague. And basically, it's from Greek mythology,
You
and it
problems
was,
in the connections. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And so I was digging really deep into
Okay.
that, but I didn't want to make a album that was obviously about the Norns.
Yeah.
So if you read between the lines, and if you read all the lyrics from that
Yeah.
album, it's really obvious that it is about fate and that it's really influenced by Norse mythology and the Norns.
Okay.
And even like in most of the songs, the female voices from Mickey were the more kind uh,
Okay.
Norns, and really like
Yeah.
inviting you to step into the light and give shape to your
Yeah.
faith. And my voice shouting and being aggressive was more like a doom kind of
Yeah.
faith. Um, so and also the opposing mind of the human. Like I don't want to um, like most of the times you're fated to do stuff that you don't want because you want
Oh,
to
I
do
know.
something else.
I know.
Um,
Believe me.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So if you listen to the album like that, you will have a lot of
Freedom.
surprises and
Yeah.
secrets will unfold.
So
Um,
it's a, we can say
yeah.
that it's kind of because of course there are many album, many, let's I want to call it tool, because say album, it's it's a little bit not good, because some of these beautiful full length that you like the other musician released has been used, let's admit it, in meditation, healing, sound healing, meditation session, everything, in every
Mhm.
place of specifically holistic, like my naturopath. So like me, I use your own music. So
Sure.
some of those full length and tools, they usually can help you to go, for example, throughout the darkness to the light. So let's say facing the demon and slowly arriving
Mhm.
to reach the kind of a, let's say, calm state, because reaching the light is not easy. Always there are the demons and then darkness.
Yeah,
So we can
exactly.
say that Wurditz could be kind of a tool that can reach you to understand your free will. Maybe then you
Yeah,
lead
you're
your free will.
yeah, and I would say like the dance between free
Okay.
will and fate.
Okay. So, for example, someone that is not like is caged in some place on their mind or lost
Yeah.
can, with of course focusing on the listening the album and understanding, because if you don't have open mind, or if you don't have if you're not brought into this world, you don't understand it really. So if you have already you're predisposed to this world, can be used as a kind of a, almost like a kind of bag busy, or like a for movie, but can give you kind of the direction, discovering new part of you,
Oh yeah.
you were saying.
A lot of people that feel caged or
Okay.
feel anxiety are not doing what they
Yeah,
supposed to do.
I know.
So yeah, in a way that will help you
Yeah.
to also like uh be like it is the album itself is inviting you to get in contact with your own fate.
Okay. Could
Yeah.
be, but in this case, like just of course, I think it's any type of faith in ourselves, faith in any belief, or in this case, it's specific to like the Northern belief. Because
But I don't mean like fate
faith
as
in
in belief,
Christianity.
but it's
Okay.
like doomed or you are fated to do
Okay.
stuff.
The faith.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
faith
yeah.
is what is meant to be, what is meant to
Exactly.
happen. Okay.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's important, because sometimes people say, "Oh, so maybe it's inviting me to join the Northern culture." No, it's a fatal meaning, like what you're supposed to do. That's the connection,
Yeah,
of course, with the free will, and that's what
indeed.
we need, especially today. Like you were saying, we have a lot of, after especially the COVID moment that we had, lockdown, COVID, whatever happened, 2020. There's a lot of people, a lot with anxiety, and they feel caged. And there is, at the same time, I don't know if you see in the live show, a lot of awakening of these people too. They're
Hmm.
starting to uncage themselves. But and I think that with the music and from tool like Wurditz, or like other tool, other album, they are finding their own voice, because
Yeah.
music is what help us go through those, always through those the toughest period. Because come on, let's admit it, if we put the music and we feel good, it did half of the job. Or of course we have to do like the 80% of the job, but it's a good 20% of the job comes from the
Oh,
music,
yeah.
from what to make feel good. And if you have a good tool and you know how to use it, how to channel it, which
Yeah.
I always say, of course, it's the best. Just when it especially comes to folk, which could be Viking folk, Northern folk, dark folk, but as the folklore in the roots. going to I don't know, a prairie in the nature, stay barefoot. If you want to dance, dance. If you want to jump, jump. If you want to cry, cry. Letting free. What
Yeah.
a low and called bioenergetic meditation, releasing everything.
Yeah.
And with Wurditz, I think I'm gonna because I, every time that I did an interview with you, there is always the perfect time or the perfect moment.
Cool.
Now there is the
Yeah.
needs of this fate, what I have to do, what I need to do, so what I'm meant to be, what I'm meant to do, and
Yeah.
in this case maybe can unfold some part of me that I have that I don't know, that I maybe hidden, or that I have myself because we hide sometimes our true self because we are scared, and he
Yeah.
connected with a free will, and
Yeah.
of course I saw that you
So
yeah.
basically, also like Woordis is about aligning
Mhm.
your free will with your faith, right?
Okay, yeah.
If that is aligned, it will become really, really powerful. Uh,
Yeah, of course,
yeah,
because you're gonna be who you are and what you're meant
yeah.
to,
So
without any.
basically, you have to like it helps if you see your faith
Okay,
as the norms, maybe,
okay,
and then go into trance and go and talk with them.
yeah, and
Of
this is the
course,
shaman part, the shamanistic
yeah,
part.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. And then really get to know them. And then you can, let's say, have conversations with them,
okay,
and you can try to figure out maybe what is my fate in a
yeah,
way more specific. But yeah, let's say that.
okay.
And then you can check with yourself, what do I want and where's my free will? And then try to align both aspects, and then it becomes super, super
It's
powerful.
a powerful and it's a really deep, even more profound album that I think people can even maybe realize. So
Hmm.
they should check like at the lyrics itself, the meaning of it, and the sound itself, because it's something that is to be, like something that you have to listen and study. But of course, you're working because of course it was a release in 2022. You're now that I think you had yesterday, a couple of days ago, the last live show.
Yeah.
Okay, you had the last live show. You're
Good year.
planning to work on new material, new
Oh
album.
yeah.
Okay, okay, good,
Oh
good.
yeah.
We don't want
Like
to. Okay.
like 15 minutes ago before this interview, I was working my
Oh,
ass off.
really? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exciting. Okay, so
Um, the new album is getting shape, and I'm already writing lyrics. And
okay,
that is just a very, very complex
even more.
thing to do, because I'm writing my lyrics in Anglo-Saxon, or you
Oh
could
wow.
say Old English or Old
Yeah,
Frisian.
yeah.
So at the moment, I'm busy trying to get my concepts for the lyrics, and have my Old English, my Anglo-Saxon
Yeah,
dictionary, and then just go for a treasure hunt. I'm gonna collect like words,
yeah, of course.
and then slowly take it from there. And when I think I'm ready,
You're
I
gonna.
send it to this professor of the University of Leiden,
Okay,
and then he has like one or two pupils, and they're gonna correct me,
okay.
and
Humble.
then they'll send it back to me. So this takes weeks, months.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, there is because there is preparation. There is, like I was telling
Oh
you,
yeah.
there is the historical part of you
Oh yeah.
that's important. That's important. That's always the roots. Always the grounding side. And then I
Yeah.
think, of course, when the album is gonna be, I think there will be with the times, the due times, there will be the announcement and everything. And I will reach you out before the album release this time, not 2 years
Okay.
later. 2 years later, like 2 years later. No, no, a couple of weeks before the release of the album. So we're gonna talk more. As soon as the first
Okay,
single
let's do that.
drops, I'm gonna reach out to you again. So this time it's not gonna be after 4 years almost. Oh my God, it's a really long time ago. So
Oh yeah.
3 years ago. Just let's be fair. Don't age ourselves too much.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, and speaking about the live show, of course you
Mm.
played a lot. I saw you playing amazing, and your live are amazing. You have a really super quality live show completely on YouTube. I saw them, and the energy that all of you guys on stage is and on stage is beautiful. It's really unique, and it's
Oh yeah.
it's not like for yeah, it's not festival, but I see you like playing some Greek arenas. We have a beautiful Greek arena in Sicily. No,
So,
could be good. Because and that's the setting. So I was asking if you have planned other live show maybe in the beginning of 2025, or is the main focus now is just the album?
no, we're just starting up with the live show. I
Okay.
must say, yeah, I must say, we were just getting better and better, uh, also from like a technical
Okay.
perspective, and now we're totally ready. So I can announce that in 2025 we're gonna start doing tours, and
Okay.
we're gonna play a lot more.
Okay. So
So I'm,
maybe we're gonna do an interview even earlier then. I mean, we have to talk about this tour because, of course, we
yeah,
have to go more in the depth about the live settings, what people can
yeah,
expect live, some set lists. So we're gonna bring all as well the other album meanings and everything. So
that
perfect.
would be amazing.
You see, so we don't have to wait 2 years or 1 year. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna and bring even
So,
other Sowulo people. So it's would be even nice to have as well Miki if she's
yeah,
available.
yeah.
It'd be really
Let's do
nice.
that. Cool.
Yeah, you sure? So what can I say, Faber? Thank you so much. It was really a pleasure, and as always, meaningful, a deep conversation. And I know there's a lot to unfold about a lot of
Oh yeah.
yes, but like
Oh
we
yeah.
said, as coming back, we keep it for the people to not get annoyed. But for the next time, prepare a cup of coffee or some yerba mate or something, whatever they want to drink, and relax because we're gonna talk.
Yeah, exactly. Cool.
So thank you so
Agree.
much. Have a beautiful beginning of the month, and this is the new moon today as well. So
Yeah,
enjoy this beautiful day, and with these, like I said, with the new beginnings. Today's the day of the new beginnings. So perfect day for an interview. New moon. We never.
perfect. And thank you so much for having me on the show. And
Yes.
until next time.
Yeah, sure. Keep in touch.
Okay,
Bye.
bye bye.